Welcome back to Desertwood Days, and I am here with no one other than Mr. Lyle Dillie, filmmaker and teacher.
Yes.
I love that you consider yourself a teacher because in today's world, I feel like we're all a teacher in some format. So I love that you accept that title as a teacher.
Yeah, I teach at Maricopa Community College System on a regular basis now. I teach like animation and Illustrator and graphic design. That's kind of what I've been doing for a long time before I got into filmmaking.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Lyle, there's some other things I want to touch base on also. Some First one being personal, your children. As you know, I'm a mother of a special needs child, and you too are a father of special needs children. And being a teacher, I feel like we're helping to mold them and we're teaching on a daily basis. Would you say that?
Yeah, I would say that I have two kids with special needs. The other one, he's special in his own way. But I'm kind of different when it comes to a lot of stuff, especially when I'm doing my personal projects. I will actually bring them on set, even the ones with special needs. I'll try to get them involved any way that I
Sure.
can when it comes to filmmaking or teaching or a lot of the nonprofit work that I've worked with. My middle child, David, I'll bring him on set. I'll teach him everything that I know that could help him in the future, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's graphic design,
Right.
or any of the other kind of skills that I do, and I try to imbue that into my children the best that I can.
Wonderful.
I mean, my youngest, who has epilepsy and some memory issues, he's actually really fallen a little bit more toward photography, and I'll give him one of my fancy cameras, show him how to use it, and say,
Yeah.
we'll go around a Comic Con or some other event, and I'll just say, go.
That's
And
awesome.
some of the stuff he
And
comes
again,
out with
I'd
is
like to
great.
say those are their special abilities because of the things that we try to we see as their disability. They have so many abilities. I love that. Also, Lyle, I know you also do a lot with the veterans community. Can you speak a little bit about that as well?
Well, I do a lot with the veterans of the the veterans over here in Arizona. A lot of what I deal with is veterans. Some of them who have some kind of mental disability, mental issues. There's a lot, and I consider art. I consider a lot of the creating part of what I do, and I want to encourage that is to help people kind of move forward and give them challenge people basically.
Right.
And so I'll show them a lot of the skills that I have in hopes that will help them move further, whether it's photography, whether it's graphic design
Mm.
or filmmaking. I've worked with a lot of nonprofits around Arizona and brought them on sets, brought them to different kind of challenges. You know, just recently, I'm actually going to be creating a magazine for
Okay.
veterans here in Arizona, and I'm going to bring in a lot of different photographers and writers and other creatives and veterans, and I'm actually going to have a budget to even pay some of them for their things and
Wonderful.
give them challenges and stuff to do to help the kind of veteran community.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I know that you're very passionate about that. But I also know you're passionate about your work as well as being a filmmaker.
Mhm.
You just completed a project where was it the Valor Festival?
The Valor Festival, I was actually in charge of the Valor Festival.
Okay.
So basically, it was a veteran led film festival out here. I was in charge of it. We had some teams out here, some veteran, some just regular filmmakers who wanted to participate. We gave them a challenge to create a 3 to 5 minute film in 72 hours. I
Oh,
love those kind of challenges. We had a kind of a apocalyptic theme,
okay.
and
That's
some of the
such a
stuff that
hard
they
word to say.
created, I know some of the films we created were amazing. We had great prizes at the end of it, and we challenged them to even add a little bit of kind of the veteran experience into their
Oh, okay.
films, and that was a nice little challenge that they had incorporated into the film. And by the end of it, I mean just the kind of awareness, the money raising that we had done for the community, and it was a great experience.
That's
I'd do it again
awesome.
every single year. It was a
That's
lot of fun.
that's awesome. And I believe that you just created another project, or you were a part of another project,
I
like a
do a
short
lot of
film.
projects. Yeah, I've done a lot of projects. I'm involved with I'm an editor at the end of the day. DIT. I do a lot of the backside of it. I've obviously done directing and cinematography, but a lot of what I've called on
Oh,
is editing.
okay.
So I'm actually working on 3 feature films,
Wow.
some short films. I'm editing Her Monster,
Okay.
which is a film that we're very proud of, and done, edited, written and directed by Ted Tanaka and
Okay.
Dylan Garcia. We have um, where I was part of The Chemical Burden by Ashland
Okay.
Hassler. I helped produce some of that and put some of that together. Both
And
the
Fornix.
Fornix, Arizona. I was the director, editor, cinematographer, whatever I needed to be to get that feature film done. That's basically done. That's
So
going
it
to be
sounds
on
like you're a
Nearlings.
pretty sought after editor out here in Arizona.
Yeah, I kind of am, and that's a good thing. I
Yeah.
do enjoy editing, for the most part, when I have time. But there's lots going on.
Right.
Um, One thing is some of these films are going to be featured at the end of the month at the Night of Misfits films. Some of
Yes.
them have been selected to feature. We're excited about that. So I have
That's
multiple
wonderful.
films that I'm part of that's going to be part of that, which is great.
Congratulations.
Excited
That's
about that.
great.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Any other than those films, any new projects coming up?
Oh man, it's kind of funny you say that. The answer is no, but it's for a very specific reason. Because I'm involved with all these other feature films, I've
Hmm.
actually had to say no to a few things,
Oh,
and nothing major where I feel
right.
like I'm missing out too
Right.
much. But I need to finish all these
You call it,
edits and stuff,
yes.
and it
I
can be all
understand.
this. Some people, I found, don't realize all of the real time that it
Mm.
takes in post production to get a lot of
Right,
these
right,
films finished. Because it's not just about doing the rough edits,
right.
putting the actual edits together, but then you've got to worry about the
The
music. Then you got to
music,
get the sound,
yes.
done up. Then you have to worry about finishing the color and
Right.
everything else. Now, technically, I'm okay at it. I'm much better as a just general editor. I'm okay at things, but a lot of times I'll actually get a professional color editor to come out, sound designer, all this kind of
You
stuff.
pull
So
in the
really
help
take things.
where you're needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Just to make sure that it gets done and done correctly.
Wonderful. So that's awesome for you to be able to, I don't want to say delegate, but seek out others to help you with the work. So that's a great thing that you're getting the work and you can offer it to others.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful. So Lyle, out of all the things that you do and with art, could you tell me out of all of it what you're more passionate about?
Well, one of the things that I don't get a lot of time to do, but I'm the most passionate about. I teach a lot, and I bring a lot of my art. Whether it's sometimes I can paint, and
Mhm.
sometimes I bring some of the stuff together, whether it's graphic design or the filmmaking. A lot of times, since I graduated from Arizona State University with an
Mhm.
interdisciplinary arts degree,
Okay.
one of the things that we do at ASU, with the IEP program is create experiences
Mm.
beyond just a film, beyond just a piece of art. When I graduated from ASU, I actually wanted to push that a little beyond just what I was doing, and follow in footsteps of some famous artists who actually worked at colleges. I wanted to do some of that myself. So when I started working for Australia Mountain Community College, I developed uh, a club, for lack of better words, where
Okay.
we actually gathered students and other faculty members to come together to create larger installations.
Okay.
One of the first ones that we put together is called Fractured Pie. And I got students, I got teachers involved, I've got musicians, and we actually created a full 360-degree art piece that showed at ASU, ASU West. We showed it at Phoenix Art Museum. One of the things that was best about it was that, by getting the students, it was kind of my idea, and I brought everybody together and allowed a lot of, feedback and made sure that everybody had a voice. But at the end of the day, the students to be able to show off this work and meet these people at ASU West, at things, and I give them opportunities to network and meet people across Arizona. That's the one feedback that I sometimes get from these experiences. The students love the most is they didn't just stay in their little bubble.
Of course, being able to network with people. I mean, that are doing things that they want to do. That's huge for them.
Absolutely.
That is huge. So you brought some media for us to take a look at your project?
Yeah. Come take a look at the fractured pie.
Okay, awesome. So with this, is this something that the students worked on themselves?
Well, no, that's what I call the beauty of what we were creating. It is a collaborative.
Okay.
It is not a project I gave the students.
Oh, okay.
It is a project where we sat at the beginning of the semester and said, I had a few ideas of what I thought would be kind of cool, and then we collaborated.
Okay.
We created. We said, who would like to do what? What do we need? We created plans for that piece of project at a 360-degree with all those projectors and how we were going to connect it and what we were going to record with. So not only am I going to create a piece of work that technically, as the lead, I could put my name on and say, look, this thing, I did it, but the student can too.
Right.
Think about it. If you were a college student at a junior college, and you can sit there. I had an art project that was Phoenix Art Museum.
Right.
How cool is that? And any one of them will proudly proclaim that they were part of this project beyond anything. Even if it turned out like dirt, it didn't. It was an amazing project. But just to be able to say that, to be able to put that together, and for me able to provide those to the students time after time. That's not the only project we did. We did multiple ones where we've shown at Phoenix Art Museum and ASU and others multiple times.
Wonderful.
Throughout the years.
So does ASU continue to utilize or show this work?
No, it's a one-time thing. It's and they do that all the time. They always rotate out artists and rotate out things and who they're showing. And we just happen to be able to be part of that experience that ASU and Phoenix Art Museum can provide.
Wonderful. So teaching is something that you're really passionate about. I love that you're teaching the students, filmmakers, the student artists. You do a lot with the community. What can we expect from Lyle, let's say in 5 years?
Well, what I'm hoping for is two main things. I want to finish all the different kind of film projects that I have on my thing to, so I could sit there and say, I have 5 or 6 feature films, television shows, and also kind of stuff under my belt. Right. That's going to help. I'm actually hoping to go back to school in the next couple of years. and get my master's degree, which will allow me that higher level of teaching that I would actually
Right.
like to do. I am writing feature films and stuff, and working on, like I said earlier, that magazine.
Yes,
And I'm
yes.
hoping some of this is really feels like a lucrative thing. I'm really hoping to be able to pull together my own money and produce my own feature films in the future, and be able to take some of this experience I have with the students, with the veterans that I've worked with, and bring them all together and create a
Wonderful.
feature film.
Wonderful. Well, Lyle, we wish nothing but the best for you. Where can our audience find you?
There's a few things. If you're interested in anything that we're doing over there, it's at actualfracturedpie.org. We have a website. A lot of the films that I worked with, it's at bloodquartz.com,
Okay.
which things. And if you want to find out a little bit more about me, it's at lyledillie.com. If you haven't noticed, I'm also a web developer, so I'm able to actually create a lot of this stuff so people can do it. And you can find links to all of my social media there.
Wonderful. It was a pleasure having you here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us today here on Desert With Days, and we will catch you next time.